Thank you, Harold. Well, welcome, Unity of Tustin. How's everybody today? Good. It's going to be a smoker today. They said 88 degrees, I think. 90, is that right? Update, 90. So to remind you, for those of you, if it starts getting too hot or you prefer to be inside, the sanctuary is open and the AC is on full blast. And it is beautiful in there with the screen, with the live stream, so you won't miss a thing. Also, make sure you guys are filling up with water. When it's hot, you know, you respire and lose a lot of moisture, so it's a healthy thing to do. So today we're blessed to have Shara, our spiritual minister, from Albuquerque for a 2-week, for the next 2 weeks. We're glad to have her. And of course, Harold Payne, longtime, lifetime member, Unity of Tustin. Hi, Harold. I saw you at Zov's, Annette, and I saw you at Zov's, right, a couple of months ago, right? So we're really fortunate to have him. He's a high-level professional. Some announcements. Adventure in Faith is just a month away. It'll be the first weekend of October. And it's going to be, like Craig would say, fresh and new. Yet we're going to be keeping to some of the traditions that you're used to. It's going to be very exciting. Mary Jean is really the driving force for this, working, though, with our spiritual ministry team who have some excellent ideas. They're going to be following the format that we had with the Whitestone weekend, where it's going to be a long weekend with them working together and having workshops. Mary Jean has a lot of fun things set up for you, which you'll hear more about. We do, though, need to have some facilitators is the word. What do we need? 2, 3 more? Yeah. Now, I know a lot of people are reluctant to do this. We're going to be able to do this on Zoom. So for those of you who would like to facilitate but don't want to be in person, this is a great opportunity. And this is an opportunity for you to work with Reverend Blair. On September 11th at 1:30, he'll meet with all of you who are interested in facilitating and walk you through it. Now, if some of you are interested but a little apprehensive, if afterwards it seems a little too much, just a minute. You can recuse yourself. Just think of this as an opportunity maybe of getting out of your comfort zone for those of you who have ever thought about it. It's a safe place. You're not in the workplace. Your job and livelihood doesn't depend on it. And of course, it's a lot of fun. The people that you are working with will appreciate it. So if you're interested or at least thinking about it, contact Mary Jean or email the front office. Also, upcoming September 12th will be our annual meeting, and at that time, Kathy will be joining the board officially, even though she's joined the board more or less, being online and coming to the Sunday services. And we'll be saying goodbye to Steve Stokel, who's been with us a year. We very much appreciate the work that he's done. So just to remind you, it's going to be here after the service, and there will be a Zoom link for those of you who can't attend, feel uncomfortable attending, but we ask that church members attend so that we can have a forum. Something new and exciting, Lisa brought this up, and Lisa's the driving force behind this. September 18th, we're going to have an outdoor concert. And now this is hard and fixed. It's going to be from 6 to 7:30 with Carl Anthony. And for those of you who don't remember Carl, he was here a couple of weeks ago with Shara. He's an outstanding professional. I saw him online along with a couple of others. I couldn't remember which one he was, but he's the big, tall guy with long hair. Outstanding. Tickets will be $15 on Eventbrite. Children 13 and under will be free, and you can go on our website to take a look at that. And then Shara's got an exciting idea. It's called Welcome Sunday. She's been actually talking about this for months. September 26th is the date that she's thinking about, and we're hoping that you will support. This will be a time where we can welcome newcomers, and we're asking you to bring friends, family, neighbors. For those of you who have just started coming, bring some of your friends. And this will be an opportunity for them to meet each other, to meet us, to meet our unique spiritual ministry team, to be exposed to new thought, metaphysics, mystical, our board of directors, our youth and family leadership team, and of course our dynamic programming, the workshops that we're offering. We'll have all of this out, kind of showing them what we've been doing and what we're hoping to evolve to. So we ask that you think about that September 26th. And we'll have hospitality here, of course, to follow. And the most important thing is for you to think who you're going to bring. Because, I know that you know this, but we have to grow. We have to evolve. We have to have new members come because older ones leave. People leave. There's attrition. And your body, even though it looks like your body, as you guys all know, the atoms are constantly changing, right? You don't have the same body you had a year ago, even though you think you do, right? And so that's the same type of life force we need here with the church. So we need more atoms, so to speak. So we're asking that you bring some more atoms to the church. So, or eat. If they want to eat, that'll be good too. Oh, Adams or Eves. Oh, A-T-O-M-S. Oh. Got it. Got it. Right over my head. Sorry. All right, well, so with that, I'll hand it off to my wife, Annette, for sure.
And, there'll be a salon today if anyone wants to talk about the service. Or
what time is that going to start?
What's that?
What time do you want to start?
12:30-ish.
Okay. And many of you know, Shara is hosting a salon after each one of her talks in the sanctuary. It starts at 12:30. If she's a little late, that means that someone's talking to her, or she's had to do some business between the service. But she'll be there. I've been to, I think, 3 of them. They're really remarkable. I would encourage you to join, and the circle just gets bigger and bigger. So, okay, with that, Annette, thank you guys.
Good morning, Unity. We've come to that time where you sit back in your chairs, open your hearts, get to that centering place, and breathe. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Good morning. My name is Stephanie Aho. I'm one of your prayer chaplains here at Unity of Tustin. And it is my honor to open our service with the lighting of the Christ candle and the reading of the daily word. But first, please, in order to maintain the sacred space of our worship service, remember to silence your cell phones. Thank you. The lighting of the Christ candle is a sacred ritual that reminds us and symbolizes that divine light within each of us and that connects us all. Patience, yes.
Christ wants to remember that we're interdependent today.
Amen to that. Thank you, Shara. Today is Sunday, August 29th, and the word for today is awareness. The affirmation, the world feels new as I grow in awareness. And the biblical scripture inspiring today's reading is from Psalm 119. Open my eyes so that I may behold wondrous things out of your law. Spending time in mindful contemplation increases my awareness of my surroundings. As I concentrate and focus my attention, I shut out distractions and settle my unquiet mind. My world begins to feel brighter, vibrant, and more alive as I notice the soft sounds and minute textures and colors I overlooked before. Spending time in prayer increases my awareness of God's goodness, which I share with others when I am patient and kind, generous, and forgiving. This goodness returns to me as kindness and gentleness in the people I meet, and ease and grace in all the places I go and things that I do. The world has not changed, but I have. My awareness of God in and as my life has opened my eyes and ears, my mind and my heart. Again, the affirmation, the world feels new as I grow in awareness. Let's repeat that together. Together, the world feels new as I grow in awareness. And so it is.
Good morning, Unity of Tustin. Good morning, everyone online. Let us take a moment and move into prayer. And feel yourself here, where today we are focusing our awareness on true belonging as the beloved community. As the beloved community right here and right now. You know, I live here when I'm in California, and this garden is always a sanctuary for spirit. But just yesterday, it was a field of grass. And as the beloved community, we come together week after week to transform this into a home for God. And right now, we are being the home for God, a place where we take our awareness and remember that there is only one power and one presence, God the good, and that living love is always accessible underneath all of reality. And we come here together to remember that so we can live from it and have it as a reference point in all that we do in our world. So let's celebrate today our own hearts that commit to being a home for God. And let's celebrate this beloved community that we have the privilege to create, to be part of, to be nourished by, and to belong to. And we say this prayer in the name and after the nature of the living love of the indwelling Christ's presence. And so it is. Amen. And let's hear from Harold.
It's a white flag day. Gonna take my foot off the pedal, take a rest from the battle, 'cause the price has been too high to pay. I got an SOS from the life that's been calling. Gonna answer this longing, 'cause I don't wanna settle for less. I'm giving up, going down the same old, same old. Shake it up and turn it around. I surrender. I surrender. It's a white flag day. You learn to rise from the struggle and rise up from the rubble. I'm spreading my wings at last. I'm giving up, going down the same old, same old. Shake it up and turn it around. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I'm letting go of everything that doesn't bring joy to my soul. And now I know that I am free and finally home. I surrender. I'm letting go. I surrender. I surrender to things flying overhead and concentrate instead on surrendering. I surrender.
Oh, let's all take that in and really feel the invitation to surrender to the Holy One and to raise that white flag in our heart. And this meditation today is inspired by an email and a conversation I had with my colleague Paul Hanneman, which I've titled Sitting at the Feet of the Holy One. But I think today it's surrendering at the feet of the Holy One. And it's inspired by St. John of the Cross, who tells us that the dark night is when God helps you by taking away your ability to figure anything out. And this is a meditation for when God is blessing each of us with this type of sacred help. So let's begin by bringing our awareness to our breath. Breathing love in and breathing love out. And become aware of your body and the space around your body and you in that space, present. Now bring your awareness inside your body. Bring your awareness inside your heart, into your loving, and bring that loving through your body and out into your space. And now bring your body awareness back into your heart and stabilize it there. Just stabilize your awareness within your deepest heart. And soon you will see a door. Perhaps you're curious, even a touch surprised. There are more chambers, more secrets of the sacred. And open this door and find your way into the heart within your heart, the Holy of Holies, And allow yourself to breathe and acclimate to this great space. Notice how it vibrates in you. And as you enter this holy chamber, you see a great room. Notice how it appears to you. And in this room, a low fire is burning in the center, though without generating heat or sparks. And on the other side of the fire sits the Holy One. And you see the Holy One regarding you with unconditional love. You walk over to the fire and you sit across from the Holy One, becoming present and attuning to the energy of the Holy One, who emanates a vibration of unconditional love like a silent tuning fork. You close your eyes and feel your own vibration lift until there's a resonance, a coherence with the vibration of the Holy One. Feel this in your own body now. And in this moment, guided by your inner knowing, you take whatever is inside to you that you want to offer to God for healing, for removal, for change. And you lay it in the space between you and the fire and the Holy One. See yourself doing this now. See yourself taking whatever is inside of you that you want to offer to God for healing, for removal, for change, and lay it out. Become aware of you and the Holy One gazing at your offering. In the stillness and the silence, you both gaze upon the offering, infused with the vibration of unconditional love. Notice what you experience in your body as you feel the Holy One gazing upon your offering, as you gaze upon it, and as you both sit and wait. Gazing, sitting, and waiting in the silence. And as we come back to this present moment, we allow that gaze to continue. And we also add to the gaze of the Holy One all of those on our prayer list here at Unity of Tustin, and all of those in our minds and heart. As we center and surrender and trust in faith and love, and move forward with this gaze alive, infused with the next song from Harold Payne.
I'd like to acknowledge that this is the 20th year, I believe, I've been coming here. And applaud for yourselves for joining me here. And one thing I noticed, this is definitely a loving community, and dedicate this to you. The song I wrote with Patricia Bahia. We come together, it's meant to be. In this moment, this point of destiny, we've got each other's backs, walk in each other's shoes. These are my people, my brothers, my sisters, the family I choose. This is my tribe, this is my tribe. This is where I thrive, I come alive. This is my tribe. We're all on a journey, but it feels like home. Wherever we go, we know that we're not alone. We share our burdens, lift each other up. There for each other, we're bonded forever, no matter what. And this is my tribe, this is my tribe. This is where I thrive, I come alive. This is my tribe. Every step I take, every move I make, you're there by my side through the lows and the highs. This is my tribe. And after all is said and done, I know that you will be the ones I carry with me always in my heart. And this is my tribe, this is my tribe. This is where I thrive, I come alive. This is my tribe. This is your part. This is my tribe. This is my tribe. Thank you.
Oh, that was fabulous. And that was true. This is our tribe. This is our amazing tribe. And we not only have each other's backs, we have each other's souls as well. Yes. And this is what we are here to celebrate today. We're here to celebrate true belonging as the beloved community. And that term was inspired to me by Jim Lockhart, the New Thought evolutionary, who wrote a book on the emergence of New Thought communities called The Beloved Community, inspired by the great Martin Luther King Jr. And Jim Lockard says that the beloved community is a place where we come to learn how to love ourselves, how to love each other, and how to love the universe. This is a place where our purpose and our passion meet. This is a place that we can practice the love that we have come to this earth to be. And this is a place where we can go from continued realization to our vision of the kingdom within, without, heaven on earth, the beloved community, and the vision of realizing our divinity as Jesus did. Right? Yeah. We come to be nourished. We come to remember that that's possible. And this progress may have its ups and downs, but there is a sense of forward motion and a sense of being involved in something that is vital and that is essential, an essential nourishment for the spiritual soul. And it's part of God's great grace that I've gotten to be part of this tribe, that I've gotten to be part of this Unity of Tustin beloved community. And I thought it would be a good day for me to share the kind of incredible story of how I got here. I've told it to a couple of people, but most of you don't know, and it's actually a really good story. And not surprisingly, the outer stories begin with an inner story. And mine started about March of 2020, when I too was gifted with St. John's of the Cross dark night, where God gave me the gift of taking away my ability to figure anything out. And I spent weeks experiencing a profound series of disillusionment. You know, that existential spiritual crisis. And God was so generous, this happened as COVID started, so not only did I not have any distractions, I also didn't have any healthy coping. All I could do was sit at the feet of the Holy One and gaze and wait. But like a good therapist, I also got a good therapist, and I did reach out to my spiritual support. And one of the things I needed to surrender was that there was something fundamental in my architecture that was not working out. And that I needed to let go of the external disillusionment and get clear on what is my heart's desire. What is that inner flame wanting? What is that inner voice of God? So I went into a deep meditation and I asked with that great sincerity, what is my heart's desire? And the answer was very clear. The answer was to become a unity minister. And that actually was not a surprise, because if I had listened, I would have known that that had been my heart's calling for about 7 years. The problem wasn't discerning what I was being called to do. The hardest part was centering and committing to it. Because logistically it made no sense. How was I supposed to become a unity minister? What was going to happen to my family? Was I going to uproot my kids? Was everyone else's life really going to be inconvenienced and disrupted because of me? That was against the way I was raised. But this is Jesus' teaching. This is Jesus' teaching when Jesus says, if anyone comes to me and does not hate the father, the mother, the spouse, the child, the brothers and sisters, yes, even their own life, such a person cannot be my disciple. Jesus is always telling us, do not cling. Do not cling to this outer world. We have to surrender and raise the white flag and let it go. We talked about Brene Brown's teaching that true belonging means standing alone in the wilderness. And when she said that, when we have to listen to our true self and stand alone to truly belong, it's the same octave as listening to God's call and standing alone. But I think she wanted to sell more books, so she used more secular language. But that is the invitation. The invitation is, where are we placing our primary loyalty? To the external or to the eternal? And I was being asked to center the eternal. And I didn't know how. And not only did I not know how, it didn't look very glamorous. Centering the eternal meant a 3-year, full-time academic program with 6 months of prerequisites. And I didn't want that. I wanted it now, and I wanted my way. But when I looked, so does Bill, when I looked into it, that wasn't the path open. The path open was the 3-year, 6-month prerequisite class path, and I said yes. So I went into meditation, and I don't know about you, but sometimes I pray, and sometimes I pray. You know, sometimes there's that moment that if the video, the sacred video was filming, you would see the heavens open and the angels sing and the direct light of God flowing up and down. And it was one of those prayer moments. And I'm weeping and I'm saying, Spirit, I will say yes. I will say yes to this non-glamorous path. And I have no idea logistically how this is going to work, but I will leave that up to you to figure it out. And it was that day that I touched bottom on the dark night of the soul, and my toe was able to push onto the bottom and start the trajectory back up into the light. I started taking all my prerequisite classes. I started applying for Unity Worldwide Spiritual Institute, and I was committed to centering spirit as the driving force of my life. Now, at the same time, I happened to be working with Reverend Clive and a colleague developing a series of retreats in New Mexico, starting in May of 2020. So, of course, it all got COVID canceled, but we didn't know it yet. So we were still meeting on a regular basis. And when we have our next meeting, of course, I share that this is my discernment. I'm taking these prerequisites. I'm applying to UWSI, and I am committed to become a Unity minister. And shortly after that conversation, Reverend Clive contacts me. And he said, you know, I've had some preliminary conversations here at Unity of Tustin, and this might be a good place for you. He said, I've discerned that I need to center more of my writing, and I'm going to be moving part-time. So perhaps you could fill in the gap. And you and I work well together. It might be nice to have some male-female energy on the platform, and I think you would be a good fit for our community. So I'm like, well, that sounds great, but where am I going to live? Like, how is this going to work? And he said, well, I'm actually moving out of Hummingbird House, so perhaps you can live there. So send your resume and cover letter to the board, and let's see what's possible. So that's what I do. And we start to have a series of conversations, and things are having some energy. And not surprisingly, there's a couple of people who must be saying, what? You want to bring some stranger from New Mexico to our community? So I get these phone calls every now and then just to kind of connect, to get to know each other. And we start kind of taking this radical idea and see if it's going to work. And I come out in November just to do a trial run and to meet people in person. And I got to be here on campus. And it really looked good. It really looked like it was going to work. And I fly back to New Mexico, and I get a call shortly after. And I hear Clive say that he discerned that it was for everyone's highest good if he didn't renew his contract. So I had that moment. It's like, it's not going to work out after all, right? But then he says, would you still be interested? And I say to him, but that makes no sense. Your community, because back then I called it your community. Now I call it our community. Said, your community is going to need to hire a minister, and why are they going to want to collaborate with some stranger from New Mexico? And he said, no, the board is considering a new model of ministry as a spiritual ministry team, where we have one minister steeped in foundational unity teachings, one in more modern unity teachings, one in Eastern traditions, and that you'll work together as a team to meet the multiple very needs of the community. And I'm like, wow. And within 6 months of commending my spirit to the hands of God, I had a contract to serve here at Unity of Tustin with my amazing colleagues, Reverend Blair, Craig, Mary Jean, and our brave and awesome board who is willing to take risks and do things differently. And as a coda, it is remarkable. It is remarkable. And to tie it all together, just this month, I received word that I've been accepted into the field ministry program, which means you and I, the board and I, we've made a commitment to each other. And I will be having the privilege to serve this community at a minimum for the next 2.5 to 3 years. Yeah. And I am so grateful. You know? And you can't make this stuff up. This happened in a way I could have never predicted or planned. I could have never strategized even with my most wily self. And I'm pretty good at control, you know? But there's something so much greater than even our brilliant strategies. And that's what we are about, cultivating it, feeding into it, and living from it. It's God's grace that bypasses so many of our obstacles, because it's God's grace that knows how to bring forward manifestation in alignment with our soul, in alignment with the soul of God. You know, that's the work. That's the work of surrendering so that it's not my will, it's thy will. And that wise surrender is truly the key to creating heaven on earth. Because when we feel into it, we are collaborating with all of life. With all of life. And oftentimes we want to make something happen from our will rather than moving into cooperation with this consciousness that wants to emerge and then acting through us as divine will. And the spiritual art is learning this dance of sacred cooperation. To learn how to act from this deeper intelligence of life itself that springs from that dimension of beyond polarity. Rumi's field of beyond right doing and wrongdoing. That field of the unmanifest realm, which is the field of infinite possibilities. That's where we put our heart and our soul and our will and our mind. It's a dimension of love, of formlessness. And we give our will over to this dimension, and we give it to that divine intelligence that knows how to manifest as the immensity that transcends the stumbling block in the first place. Because that is our need right now. Our need is to become immense. Our need is not to solve our problems, it's to outgrow our problems. Francis Weller says, the work right now is to become immense. We have to get our arms around immense things. Violence and hatred and bigotry and racism. And also around love and compassion and devotion and a certain fidelity to protect what is alive. We have to become immense. This is not a time to become small. In Myrtle Fillmore's Healing Letters, she says, one's arms and hands are to be thought of and used as God's arms and hands, the expressions of God's loving service and splendid work. So right now, take a breath and see yourself as immense. See yourself as bigger than any problem. See your giant, immense arms holding all of the discord and all of the love. See yourself as a giant of compassion, walking along, we tiny humans with great love. Because from that immense viewpoint, each and every one of us are so easy to love. For those in my spiral dynamics class, from that immense viewpoint, we can hold, validate, and make room for every worldview on the spiral. And by doing so, move ourselves into that non-dual realm of living love. Now, our unity practices of denying the temporary and affirming the everlasting in spirit, this is our birthright as the Christ consciousness. And here we can affirm that there is one power and one presence, God the good, everywhere present. And we can participate this in our community, in service, while raking the leaves next to our other community member who's also working hard. And as we do this, we rake a path in consciousness to that immensity that makes it easier for everyone to walk on after us. That is sacred service. It's the deeper work where we place what we want to heal, remove, or change at the feet of the Holy One. We gaze upon it with love, and we just wait. We wait. Transformation takes time. It took me 2 decades of conscious living in a crash course in despair to hand my life over to God. Transcendence takes time. It's a quantum leap that goes from one level of love and compassion to a more immense level of love and compassion without ever being in between. But jumps after we've waited in the holy gaze long enough to be infused as an alchemical vessel with the intensity of love so that we find ourselves in a new consciousness, a new way of relating, a new divine order. and a new wineskin as our very selves. Now, in the world, we have each other's back. We come here to this beloved community to have each other's souls. Because it's here in our beloved community that we take care of our souls so we can take care of each other, so we can align with the will of God, so we can emit a frequency that encourages others to do the same. We come to be reminded of the river of love that's always flowing beneath manifest reality, filled with infinite possibilities. We participate in the beloved community to place our awareness in that loving intelligence of the unmanifest realm, which then can outpicture as a life and as a spiritual community coherent with our soul's purpose and the souls of God. We are part of this beloved community, so we can remember to trust our life. And in the soul, what is good for us is good for everyone. So I have an assignment for you. Because remember, we have to put feet on it, right? It's the little bit of dogma we have. Many of us are yearning for the beloved community. Yet many of us are daunted to visit a new community or associate with church when religious experiences may have been wounding. Many of us need to be invited in. As Jim said, Sunday, September 26, we're hosting Welcoming Sunday. And I task each and every one of you to personally invite one person to that service. My message will be on what makes unity unique and different from what many people may think of as church. Carl Anthony, who has a special gift to transmit joy, will be the musician. Hospitality is on board to bring out the good china. They always do a great job, but Susan said they will make a special effort to welcome our newcomers with elegance and care. And newcomers will have the opportunity to sign up for Adventures in Faith and join small groups right away in order to develop familiarity and connection. Now, this might be a daunting assignment. Shad Groverland, who's the executive director of Unity Worldwide Ministries, recently joined one of my classes for a call. And he said, our unity movement has a lot of religious shadow that needs to be healed. And one of the ways our religious shadow manifests is that we don't tend to talk about unity to our friends. We don't tend to invite our friends to service, even though our involvement can be so meaningful to ourselves. So I don't know if that's true, but if so, let's start cleaning it up by facing it. So think of my assignment to you as a divine dare. I am asking you to invite someone you know on a spiritual date. And you may get rejected. But if so, know you are being rejected in service to spreading love and of spreading awareness for people to access the sacred medicine that we offer and that the world so deeply needs. So let's let our love for unity shine. Now, post about it on Facebook, invite at least one person personally, and let's share the gift of our beloved community, here and online. Because we are the beloved community. Unity is where we nourish each other and keep our loyalty with God so we can experience and express the security and the love of true belonging. And this is a beautiful teacher of Teilhard de Chardin. It's the symphony of singularity. You and I, we are all unique expressions of God. And when each of us shows up in our God-centered, authentic brilliance, we come together as our authentic brilliance, which results in a coherence, like a divine celestial choir singing a complex harmony. When we show up in our divine diversity, true unity is created. Our namesake. True unity is what is created when we gather in our sacred singularity as the beloved community, as Unity of Tustin, as a sanctuary for the soul rooted in God. We are creating a home for God. And I am so grateful to be part of us. God bless.
So before we come to the time of our tithes and love offerings, I want to welcome anyone who might be here for the first time. If you're willing to raise your hand, our ushers have a packet of information for you. Is anyone here for the first time? Thank you. You're one of our Atoms, ATOMS, that we've attracted today. Please fill out your name tag and the information so we can get to know you. We invite you to join us at hospitality. We also want to tell you that this is an inclusive community. Everyone is welcome. Every atom is welcome here at Unity of Tustin. Before we do the tithes and love offerings, I just want to mention that we've recognized that we've had some additional donations because people have recognized the effort that's gone into fixing up our beautiful campus. Something has made them recognize that this just didn't happen. And it really ties into what Shara was saying about stepping out in faith. You know, it's not about waiting until we have all our ducks in a row and then we move forward. It's the opposite of that. You have one step and you take one step and then the next step appears. That's what the spiritual path is. The theme of our adventure in faith this year is forward in faith. We step forward in faith. And when we give, we know that we are stepping forward and we will then receive. We invite each of you to step into that awareness, to be pulled by that vision and not pushed by the pain of, I have to do it now, I'm desperate. But to step out in faith with a vision of what can be, just like this campus is stepping out in faith. So let's say the love offering blessing together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And as the ushers come forward, Harold has another song for us.
Hopefully. When you want to fly, sometimes you have to jump first and then figure it out. And the next thing you know, you're in the hummingbird house. We're all winging it, lifting each other up. It's just true belonging, true belonging. right here where we want to be. This is true belonging, true belonging, creating joyful synergy. When we show up, each of us is our authentic selves. Join in with everyone else. The whole becomes greater than the sum of the parts, connecting heart to heart. True belonging, true belonging, right here where we want to be. True belonging, true belonging, creating joyful symmetry. This is our community, beloved and blessed, as we all bring out our best in each other. We need to outgrow our problems, not just trying to solve them. With our true belonging, true belonging, right here where we want to be, creating a joyful symmetry. We're a diverse celestial choir, singing in harmony as a symphony of singular souls, reaching out in unity. It's a true belonging, true belonging, right here where we want to be. A true belonging, true belonging, creating joyful synergy. Thank you.
The amazing Harold Payne. Thank you, Harold. So let's bless the love offering. Thank you, Spirit, for guiding us to be in the flow of giving and receiving. We affirm, as you give, so shall you receive. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And so it is. So before we close, I want to remind you about Shara's salon at 12:30 in the sanctuary. Also the drum circle this afternoon at 1 o'clock over by Site 8. Jim will be at the table back there to answer any questions, and I will be at the kiosk to help you if you want to buy a ticket to Carl Anthony today or if you want to make a donation. So let's say the prayer for protection together. Divine love, the light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Go forth and be in the beloved community.
Out of many, one people, that's what they say. Tustin unity. Out of many, one people, that's the unity way. Hey, out of many, one people, that's what they say. Tustin unity out of many, one people. That's the unity way. And here's to all the incredible supporters setting this up, so you can strut your stuff behind the camera or setting up the tents. They work hard and never relent. Hey, out of many, one people. That's what they say. Tustin unity out of many, one people. That's the unity way.